Let us not forget the promotion of solo scriptural, which also destroys the church by stating that only the Bible is without error. And if there is any teaching or tradition of the church that you don't fully accept and it's not explicitly stated in the Bible for you to do or believe, then you don't need to adhere to it because it's probably wrong, which suggests that the church is prone to error, thereby undermining the credibility of the church. And a church that lacks credibility is not worth belonging to. Can you now see why Protestants should be thought of as evil, ravenous wolves rather than lambs, since their whole intent from the beginning was to devour the church and its flock? The Catholic Church was given the key by Jesus through Peter to open the Scriptures so that the matters of faith and morals could be authoritatively determined. The Catholic Church interprets Scriptures in a way that binds people to the church in order to make the church stronger and more enduring. They have the right to do this since Jesus gave them that magisterium teaching authority through Peter. However, the Protestants do not have the right to tell anyone how to interpret the Scriptures since they do not have any kind of apostolic succession to rely on for that authority. Therefore, any interpretation from them that loosens people from the church so that Protestantism can prevail should be rejected. The Catholic Church was also given the authority to determine who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. The right to interpret sacred Scriptures allows them to determine under what terms you can gain or lose your salvation. Therefore, the Protestant teaching on these matters should also be rejected if they conflict with what the Catholic Church has already decided. During the first 1,000 years of Christianity, there was only one church that God recognized as the true apostolic church, which is the Catholic Church. This is still true today. Catholics are building the Church of Christ on a rock, which gives it a solid foundation that will last forever. However, Protestants are building their church on sand that will eventually cause the visible church to fall if allowed to continue. Apostolic succession gives the Catholic Church the authority to teach the Word of God. However, Protestants are trying to interpret the Word of God without any such authority given to them. Building the church based on the teachings of Jesus as passed on through apostolic succession and the written word is building the church on a rock. Building a church based on each person's own interpretations of the word alone is building a church on sand. Catholics don't have to keep reinterpreting the sacred scriptures, since they were already taught what they mean by the original apostles who were taught by Jesus himself. The reason Catholics are so firm about claiming the apostolic succession derived from Peter receiving the keys from Jesus is because without it, they wouldn't have the power and authority to act to keep in check heretical teachings that conflict with what has always been taught by the Church. The problem with Protestant theology, which seems to be only concerned with individual salvation, is that it fails to look at the bigger picture. Our long-term success at evangelizing the nations of the world can only be accomplished with a theology that promotes both individual salvation and a stronger church. Promoting individual salvation is a good thing. However, it should never be done in any way that makes the church weaker and less visible. The logical conclusion of building an invisible church, which is only concerned with individual salvation, is that it will eventually get rid of all churches, not just the highly visible Catholic Church. God created you to do good works means that you rule by serving. Protestant theology is a different gospel because it is not the same one that has been preached for 2,000 years by the Church. When Jesus used the word rock, he was not only telling us that the church is based on the heavenly revelation that he is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and that Peter, as an apostle, was chosen as a stone to be part of that foundation which holds up the walls of the church. But he was also implying that the church is meant to be as solid as a rock that can withstand the storms of time.